What's up, y'all? So I am King Rose, and this is the King Corners podcast, Volume 3.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the homies, Reddy, Steve-O, Yakima, everybody else. You know what I'm saying? This is our test version, so tell me something about yourself, dog.
Most definitely, man. Hey, it's your boy King Rose, man, aka Roosevelt, back in here, King's Corner podcast. Just touching on some hot topics for the day, man. It's been a while since the people heard from us, and feel like it's time to, give our point of view on what's going on in life, man. To begin with, since the last time they heard from us, I think it was talking about, the presidency.
The residency.
The residency.
Yeah, man, we got a resident lunatic, man. Like I was probably saying before, man, I think that we have a lunatic in office, man, and one of the most selfish people to ever occupy the office. He don't care about anybody, anything. He cares about his aspirations alone, even at the stake of all the people out there spreading what they call it, the super spreader events he's throwing everywhere. And he done killed Ben Carson and some other people, and he's letting his political allies out of jail, like they never did anything. The guy's crooked. He only paid $750 in taxes.
$750.
That's it, $750.
Let you miss $225. I think the IRS sending you a letter in the mail.
Man, he hating all these first president.
Finna garnish your shit.
Only president that been hiding his finances for years, man. He's in cahoots with Russia and all these other places, man. He tried to mess up the mailing system for voting. He wants to be Kim Jong-un so damn bad. You feel me?
A dictator, man.
Yeah, straight dictator.
Straight dictator.
Yeah, he tell him to stand ready and stand by for. He's inciting all these, white supremacist people, man. And what's going on is awakening going on, man. A lot of people starting to realize their position in this society, that they have no position. That this society is not meant for you and me. And it's meant to keep us suppressed, and it's meant to beat all our self-worth out and just have us as battery cells. People never thought about that before. People, what you think about that?
Let me ask you, man. If Trump don't win the presidency, how do you think his supporters are going to act after that?
Well, they like the idea. They like the idea of what he stands for. They feel like he's part of them. They feel like America's great when everybody else is suppressed. When we used to come in through the back doors, and when we used to get second grade service, and we used to be subordinate, and not be able to look them in their face and have to look down.
Hold your head down when you're walking in there.
Yeah. They love. Those are great times for them, because bottom line is white people are scared. They're scared of losing their position. They don't know how to be subordinate. They have an arrogance about themselves. White people have a certain arrogance that, they're naive to everything, but they cause everything.
True. It goes back to, you seen what happened, this year, the Breonna Taylor situation, the George Floyd situation. Even the young man that got shot in the back and was paralyzed. 8 times.
Yeah, I can't think of his name either.
It doesn't matter. Like, we've been marching since the 60s and protesting since the 70s and the Black Panther movement and the 1992 riots and the Peachtree and 2020. It seems like we're still dealing with the same.
Well, nothing has changed, man. Nothing has changed whatsoever. It's all the same things that happened in the 60s riots are happening right now. The system is designed to work the way it's supposed to work. It's supposed to have the police out here protecting, as they so call it, and serving white folks and protecting their property and their stuff and putting their knee into our neck. They've always, since the slave days, when they were called overseers, their job is to keep the people suppressed and keep them underfoot. So white people's aspirations, they'll come into your town, burn your town down, or create laws and stuff to take your land and redline your stuff. And they've been doing it for so damn long. True. Like I was I was reading up about the Andrew Jackson and James Polk and the Indian.
Yeah, you was telling me about that. Kind of enlighten the people, man, on some of the things that you discovered and your research upon these things.
Well, back when they had Andrew Jackson had conquered a bunch of the Indians and stuff like that, and they basically they sent the Indians to the Oklahoma territory. They had the Indian. I can't think of the whole name of the legislation that they wrote up for the Indians to take them all and take them over to the Oklahoma territory, and basically this resulted in what they call the Trail of Tears. Trail of Tears, when the white people killed all the Indians and kids and everybody. On the Trail of Tears of thousands of Indians dying on their way to Oklahoma. And what happened after that? They wanted to gain more territory, so basically they created a war in 1812.
We was talking about that the other night against the Mexicans.
Yeah, Santana. Santa Ana, I mean.
Conquering, further west. If you look at California, I mean, shit, it's evident to see all the names are from Mexican heritage. Los Angeles, San Diego, Santa Ana, Santa Monica, Santa Clarita, San Francisco. Like, these are all, Mexican names, which at some point you was explaining to me that eventually at some point between the war of a certain period that was conquered too. And that was from like the colonists that originally settled here in, the early 1800s.
Well, once the Americans took care of the Indians and smashed them out, we were basically up to the Mississippi River.
Right.
And then right beyond the Mississippi River, that's where all the Texas and all that at that time, the Mexicans had control of all that stuff.
Yeah.
So what Mexico did, they allowed the settlers to move into Texas.
Right.
Move in, but you can't own any land.
Right. You can move in, you can settle, but you can't buy shit around here.
Yeah, same they had. Yeah, they had the same shit today.
San Antonio, and I think that's where the Alamo comes from.
That's exactly where the Alamo comes from. Right. The Alamo, Davy Crockett, and which was a senator, after he lost his office and everything, and because he was a proponent to, he was against a lot of the Indian treaties that they had created at that time.
Right.
It was him against Andrew Jackson. Him and Andrew Jackson's were like enemies, kind of.
Right.
So I think he lost
of one each other, kind of like they fucking they didn't agree with each other's terminology and how to look at the perspective of life depending on each man.
Or Andrew Jackson brought legislation up. The only person that voted against it was David Crockett.
Right.
And so after
what they say, we hold these truths self-evident. Is that what they say? We hold these truths self-evident. Not to knock you off, but to go back to what we were saying, like, a couple of days ago. These amendments, everything that people follow nowadays, laws, all this shit, right? Mm-hmm. State, government, down to the local cities, down to the counties, all of that. Mm-hmm. It was written by white people for white people.
Exactly.
And
it's never changed. It's obvious. What happens is, man, after generations and generations of beating people down, we have certain fear of standing up and representing ourselves. We'll march all day. We'll go out there easy. We'll march. We'll get our pastor to get up on camera and saying what they did wrong and get a lawyer or something. But we refuse to fight back. We don't have it within us to. You never hear any stories about revolutionaries going out and killing a white dude, or they had a situation with the brother that was jogging and the two white dudes came out and killed him. Yeah. You never heard the opposite. You don't see it. You don't never hear the opposite of some black people.
One only person, and they did him dirty at some point, but only one person that I knew that they actually documented as of recently with a movie that they came out with, Nat Turner. When they said like he revolted against, what was the oppression, basically, like everything that was holding him and his people back. He was a preacher at the time, getting up there on
It's
in the pulpit, you know, spreading his word, you know, golly, and
not.
at some point that shit became like, no, fuck that, like we finna
With this,
gotta get back at these things.
there's been more than that, man. Lately, the last one I think was Dormer. It was named Dormer. He was
Christopher Dormer.
yeah, when he went up to start killing white people when they was chasing him.
Do you know the story behind that? Though?
I don't know the complete story, but I know.
Check it out. Mm-hmm. This man served in the Navy, went to Iraq, all of that, right? Came back, medals, all of that. Went to join the LAPD, right? He felt like, shit, I put in, you know, work for my country. It's an honor to do this, right? You know, I'm serving my community.
You feel like he was one of them?
One of the female detectives that he was on the case with was abusing one of the suspects, they said. He saw her do some foul shit to him. And he went to bring it, you know, to his higher ups in command. They ended up firing him.
That blue coat. Blue coat.
This man, after serving in the military, joining the police department, doing what he thought was right? The motherfuckers fired me because I bring up some real shit. You know what I'm saying? That somebody else is doing.
Well, they felt like he was trading against. He was snitching on one of their own. It's a code that they go by.
It's a code.
Just like the code of the streets. The street has a code.
It's a code.
And gangbangers have codes, and they say that there's differential between them and civilians. But the streets have a code. Police have a code. Police, like they always used to say, police are the biggest gang.
You lived in Compton before.
Yep.
The local Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, most of them have like their own gang.
Yeah.
They get, you know, this has been brought up in an investigation. The fucking sheriff before this dude that they have now, he's in prison right now. The sheriff before the one that they elected right now, the dude before him, is in prison right now because he did some foul shit. You know what I mean? And it goes back to like you said, you know, this whole society was written, you know, for them and not us.
Well, plus it's built on a lot of brainwashing, and it's not to interrupt you. Go ahead and finish your thought.
Now, with that being said, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, the people that may get elected if he don't win. How do you feel about them? What's your output on them?
On the people, if Joe Biden doesn't win, the people that's going to be in there?
No, I mean, if they win, how do you feel about them winning? Do you feel like they're going to do any better than what we're going through now?
I think that Joe Biden is old as hell. I think that he realized that he's old. And I feel like this is his chance because he's ran for president twice before. I think this is, by him picking Kamala, I think he's more attached to the people. I think he'll do more stuff. Since he's old, he's going to try to actually do immigration reform, or he's going to try to do something about the situation with the police and all that. Because it's not, people don't understand that the presidency, it's the big corporations. And it's the people with the billionaires that put so much money and they elect who they want to elect. So what they're going to do, they're going to do like they did Obama. If they control the House and the House of Representatives and they have the most senators and all that type of stuff, then nothing's going to pass. They're going to lock down like they did on Obama. Obama slid and did some little slick shit. He couldn't do nothing for the people. He couldn't do nothing for black people. You know what I mean? But he did a lot of stuff, saving the auto industries, saving banking, all that, the stuff that will help them in the long run. That they gave him approval for all that stuff. But when it came to everything to the common people, they blocked everything.
Okay.
And that's the same thing they're gonna do with Biden.
Facts. Well, I ain't gonna say facts, but sources say, and I'm gonna tell you where I got the the information from. But sources say Kamala Harris put over 500,000 black men in jail with a law in California, where we're from, that she helped create and voted on and passed.
Yeah, of course. They all done dirty shit. And no politician clean. They've all done dirty shit. It's not like it was personally her bill. If it was personally something she wrote up and then she put forth, sometimes when you deal with some people, you got to play the game. You know what I mean? You got to play the game in politics and stuff sometimes. And it's because it's not like she's for us. If she was for us all the way, she wouldn't be in her position where she's at now. She had to be subordinate and go out. You see her history a little bit. She went and married an old white dude.
Conan, man.
Yeah, that's what it is. Just like that.
Conan.
Yeah, just like the DA.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what you call Conan. Tyler Perry in a dress, Conan. You know what I mean?
Well, it's realizing that you raised up in the system because this system they praise Europe. They praise the Queen. They do everything in a European mind state. When you grow as a black person, or when you grow up, they train you from since you were born. The cartoons and I used to see cartoons with Tom and Jerry. Tom always trying to fuck up Jerry, and then guess who come in? The big pit bull will come in. Everybody run from the pit bull. That's the same shit with that's today. We'll fight against each other, but when it comes to fighting beyond ourselves, you're not gonna fight. You're gonna try to blend. That's why now they still talk about civil rights, trying to be equal. They ain't nobody saying nothing about fuck being equals to separate from these motherfuckers. Everybody's trying to be equal still, but the only way they know how to do it is marching and get up there and complaining about shit. White people ain't giving up shit. You ain't gonna never get reparations.
True.
They can't even apologize. They won't even apologize and say the shit we did to y'all was horrible. They won't even want to have the police stations with all this stuff with these crooked ass cops. They say it's one bad apple, but what about all the other motherfuckers standing there watching?
Like you say, it's a code of honor, man. And if you go against that code of honor, then you become the outsider. You know what I'm saying?
Become dormant.
Exactly that. Another hot topic, man. Since we talked to y'all, you know what I'm saying? I'm chilling with my big brother, by the way, man. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? I am King Rose, King's Corner Podcast. We in your motherfucking face. We back. Y'all gonna be getting these episodes every week. We just wanted to, it's been a lot going on this year. You know?
Life don't stop. We catching up with it and we starting to get ahead of it.
For sure.
We got our album coming out in the next week or two. We still haven't named it, but the music is done. It's a wonderful thing. The Yacht Club.
Beautiful thing. Y'all go check that out, man. Be out in a couple weeks. Grown Folk Music, the label. You know what I'm saying? On a different topic though.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers. It's 2020 champions, man.
What about them?
I had to get on him. How you feel about that?
Rest in peace, Kobe. Kobe, one of my favorite players of all time.
Hey,
you know what I mean? I grew up in LA with the Lakers and stuff. But you know what I'm saying? I've never had a basketball team, but my team, I love Golden State, and then I love Kawhi Leonard. So when they put Kawhi Leonard on the Clippers,
how did you put that together, bro?
What you
Kawhi Leonard beat Golden State, so you was cheering from both.
No. You can have you act like it's players you don't like that's not on the Lakers.
Listen,
do you have any players that you like that's not on the Lakers?
Nigga, if they ain't bleeding purple and gold,
oh man, like you don't like Durant.
That's what I said.
Like you don't like Durant.
He's good.
Yeah, but if you watch him, you ain't gonna be like fuck that motherfucker.
Nah, I'm not gonna say I respect his game.
Exactly,
but
that's how I respect
Kawhi.
Kawhi.
Team to win a championship.
Nah, but I wanted the LA on LA.
Like I was saying, the boys
they fell apart.
No, yeah.
The Clippers fell apart, and the Lakers did their thing.
We did that.
But LeBron is tight, but he'll never be a Michael Jordan. That's all I gotta say. Michael Jordan's the GOAT. Kareem is the GOAT.
Hold on.
Kareem.
I'm not gonna even put no GOAT on nothing. I'm glad you brought that up because everybody always talking about like Mike, Jordan, Mike, Kobe, Bron, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the mix. Nobody ever said nothing about Bird. Nobody ever said nothing about Kareem. What about Magic?
Well, but
nigga, what about Robert Horry? He got 7 rings.
Well, what about
got more than Jordan.
Yeah, no, but it's not even just about the rings.
You talking about
it's the skill set.
You talking about the niggas that carried their team and skill set.
Nah, I'm talking about it's a bit and piece of everything. If you gonna go for the goal, you gotta say defense. You gonna have to say teamwork. how they changed the game,
Listen.
all that stuff.
Listen.
It's a lot of categories.
I put them in their own category, bro.
But if it was about rings, Bill Russell got more than everybody.
Mike is the GOAT. Kobe is the Mamba. And LeBron is the king. That's like saying there's no NWA without a Run DMC.
There wouldn't be no NWA without Ice Cube.
True. But I'm saying, like, eras, like, ones that passed the torch, or even if they didn't pass the torch, the ones that had enough drive in them to respect the game to want to match up to that level.
Well,
you can't take that from Kobe.
Well, you just said something.
You can't take that from LeBron.
No. Each era has it's eras. It's eras. Just like you were just saying with NWA. Ice Cube is an era. You know what I'm saying? Run DMC, Run was an era. They all have you can't really compete them. Like Naughty by Nature, Tretch was an era. And so Kobe, he had his own little. He was his time, and he was the king of it. Allen Iverson was the man during his time. Had his time. Yeah.
But if you're talking like ring wise, in the last 30 years, 1990 to 2020, in the last 30 years, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. In the last 30 years, you can say, even though, okay, nigga, you got Steph Curry, nigga, them niggas is Patrick Ewings and all the other, them niggas is good too. Excellent.
Curry changed the game.
You hands down. But we talking about household names, worth ethnic, rings. Now, even though LeBron just got his 4th ring, nigga, that nigga went to the finals.
That don't matter.
See his record?
It don't matter how many times you go there. It's about how many times you win it. And I know you've been there 10, 11 years in a row, but that's fantastic. But you only won 4. Bill Russell got 11. He got more than he got fingers.
True enough.
And then Kareem got what, 7, 8?
He got 6.
Yeah, he got